Hello, brothers and sisters. I'm back with the last thing talking about the spirits, and I said I was going to record about the Leviathan Spirit. So it says, has your spirit been taken over by the Leviathan Spirit? 12 characteristics that it has. Characteristic number 1. The Leviathan Spirit twists the truth. It says, while it's the truth that all evil spirits are liars, the Leviathan Spirit specializes in twisting the truth in the mind of its victims without them even realizing it. It twists intentions in conversations. Someone can tell them something and they hear something totally different. Okay, so that's just self-explanatory that the Leviathan Spirit will twist what you're saying. So you could be saying one thing and it turns it into another to cause confusion, because the devil is the author of confusion. So we know where that comes from. So you could be saying something positive and a person turns that into something negative, and it turns into altercation. This has been happening a lot in this world, like in these fast foods where these spirits are here because these people are not covered, and people's life get taken. They could be saying something and it turns into something totally different. This person could be helping a person and they think that is something mean that they're doing. See, this is what the Leviathan does. It turns something positive into something negative. So, and it just turns into a big altercation and chaos. Okay, so let's talk about this. It says misinterpretations of what's said. Anything positive is twisted, like I just said. It says any type of correction is twisted and the beginner becomes the enemy, causing disunity. To get things to go their way, they manipulate. The person tells half truths because in their mind they told enough. Leviathan makes a person feel like if they tell the whole truth, their life will come to an end, invoking the spirit of fear to assist confusion. So that's what it's saying there. It's saying that these are the things that it does. This is what it misinterprets of what you said. Anything positive is twisted. Any type of correction is twisted. And the beginner starts trouble, like disunity. Basically, the example I just gave, this is what the Leviathan Spirit does. So if you deal with anybody that does this, this is a spirit that's on them. Okay. So it says, and if you're doing this, this is what he's saying. And he's saying this right now. So somebody listening to me, you have the Leviathan Spirit on you. As you can imagine, this causes signification, communication issues, and division in relationships. This division causes hardness of heart. And in marriage, divorce. This is the goal of the Leviathan Spirit. He's a covenant breaker. So he uses the Leviathan Spirit in divorces. This is what happens with divorces. They're saying the enemy uses this when he wants you to break the covenant, because that the marriage is a covenant that God really is very important to him. That once you marry somebody, this is important, that you keep that marriage. You don't divorce for any reason that you feel in your mind is a reason to divorce them. It has to be what God says you can divorce them for. Other than that, you're not divorced in his eyes. You are still married. So then you're committing adultery if you go remarry or whatever the case may be. So you have to be very careful. A lot of people that are going through divorces, or they're arguing with their partner all the time, and it's like they can never get past the arguing and come to a conclusion where they can save their marriage. You have the Leviathan Spirit in your home over each other, and he is trying to get you to keep going and not understand that this is a spiritual battle, not a physical one. And see, prayer is your power when you're a couple, when you're in a relationship, in a marriage, and you should be praying, asking for God's to come in and get this spirit out of here. Prayer with each other. But a lot of people don't understand that your marriage is a 3-strand marriage. It should be Jesus, the husband, and the wife. And when you don't have Jesus there, then your marriage is not complete. So, and this is what happens all the time, because people marry in the world and they have a worldly marriage. It's not a godly marriage. See, people don't understand a godly marriage is when you have God first in that marriage. When you don't have him first in that marriage, it's a worldly marriage. And this is how the devil could just come in with that spirit and break it apart. So he's using Matthew 19:8. It says, Jesus replied, Moses permitted you to divorce your wives because your hearts were hardened, but it was not this way from the beginning. So what Jesus is saying here is he's saying God's original design for marriage as a long life permit union for creation, not allowing divorce as a concession to human stubbornness, but to prevent worse cruelty. So he's basically saying Jesus explains to Moses permitted divorce due to the hardness of the heart, but it was never supposed to happen. At least you go into God's word and he says, yes, you can divorce because of adultery, but not because you have disagreements or you don't get along or you don't, little stuff like that. Why people divorce, that's why he say for better or for worse, for rich or for poor. People divorce because the man loses job or the woman don't look the same or, little worldly things. And this is not what he had in mind for marriage. It's supposed to be something permanent. When you say you love this man and for rich or poor or better or worse, that means forever. Same thing with the woman. But, people are not taking it seriously. And he's saying, Moses said you can divorce because the hardness of your heart because you upset about worldly things. Or it's not the same as it was in the beginning. Well, you can bring God back in there to bring that light back into your marriage. But yet you let the darkness come in and that spirit come in and blindside you. So this is what Jesus was saying. So I just wanted to say that. Much love and all praises to the Most High.